Welcome to the Edible Valley Podcast.
We want to invite you as we embark on a culinary journey through the heart of Vancouver Island
From the fertile fields
to the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean.
we'll explore the stories behind the food that nourishes us.
Tune in to each episode as we deep dive into the flavors, the traditions, and the innovations that make this a true paradise.
Now please join us as we explore our Edible Valley. Welcome back to another episode of the Edible Valley Podcast. I'm Chef Jonathan Fraser, and I am super excited to have two guests with me today. Two of my favorite guests of all time, right? Everyone knows her, Lesley Stav, and of course, my chef, Chef Ronald St. Pierre. Welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we are super excited because you're really, I'm putting you on the spot here, Chef Ronald, because I want you to talk about this upcoming event that you're helping put together here in the Comox Valley.
Yeah, I have had the opportunity to become one of the management team member of the Culinary Team Canada over the last year, and thought that it would be a great opportunity for me and the team to come back to the Comox Valley. For those who remember the team, the junior team, Culinary Team Canada came to the Comox Valley 3 years ago now. It was in 2022.
Yes,
we had an event both at Locals Restaurant and at 40 Nuts Winery at that time. We're excited to be coming back to the Comox Valley on November the 1st and at 40 Nuts Winery.
That is absolutely amazing. And then not only that, but you're going to hang around the team's going to hang around for another couple days.
That's correct, yes. So the team is coming to the Comox Valley to for us, it's a practice exercise to get ready for the World Cup that's going to happen in November of 2026 in Luxembourg. So on November the 3rd, we'll be making at the Natural Pacific Resort in Campbell River, we'll be actually serving the meal that the team has been working on into preparing for that competition in Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exciting.
And as he said, the cool thing about this is that it is the senior team this time. So they do have to qualify. Like any team, you have to qualify to be a part of it. But in the past, we've always had the junior team here. But these are now post Red Seal, and they are fully qualified chefs. And there's also an age difference too. Yeah. But their commitment is still incredibly high. It takes an amazing amount of energy and time for all these team members, and it's a perfect opportunity to allow the North Island to actually support a team that is representing Canada internationally.
Yeah, that's correct, Lesley. We have, part of our team member are actually chef in really recognized establishment, hotel. We have people coming from all over the nation. We have members that are from Toronto, Edmonton, and many from Vancouver as well. But I mean, those are really seasoned chefs that are working together and trying to, put Team Canada, Culinary Team Canada on the map again on an international level.
Yeah. And also, several of them actually have come up through Junior Team Canada too.
Yes.
You'll actually recognize them if you've come to a previous dinner. And it's always nice to see how their careers are panning out, because we've been following them and known them for somewhere upwards and over 10 years, which is kind of cool.
That's amazing. Yeah. So this is one for anyone who came out to one of these events when they were at 40 Knots before, or sorry, I should say when the junior team was at 40 knots or was at locals and they were practicing there to get ready. This is the next level, right?
Yes.
That's correct. And we also, for the people of Campbell River, we had, and the Comox Valley, but we also hosted twice an event at North Island College and the Campbell River campus.
That's right.
That were very successful.
Yeah. So I think this is really exciting because this gives you that opportunity to reach out to, you know, a little bit of a different kitchen, give them a little bit more of a challenge and get them out there. So let's bring it back a little bit and let's talk a little bit about the history of the team, because we've talked about there's both the junior team and the senior team. But when did this all start for Canada?
I don't have all the detail as far as when the first Culinary Canadian team competed overseas. What I do remember is that in 1984, Chef Bruno Marty and his team as Culinary Team Canada came back with the gold medal, and I believe that was the first time that Team Canada had a gold medal on an international platform.
Yeah, when we first actually were considered a viable contender from then on, because up until that point we were an aside. And I do remember talking to Bruno about that, and just, you know, how do you define Canadian cuisine and all those sorts of things, which is another whole topic. And I remember him telling me is that at that time we were so new to it that we didn't necessarily, try to do something that was really exotic and strange or anything like that. He said what we did is we pared it down to its most simplistic and perfect. He said there was not a piece out of place on anything we did. He said it was perfectly executed, the timing was perfect, and all the pieces that were put into it it was flawless. And that's how they won. That was actually what they went into with their strategy, which actually got Canada on the world map.
Yeah. The one thing I can say about the history of food competition is that, I remember when I was a young chef and working in Vancouver in the 80s, the competition food scene at the time was a lot of it was displayed only, and it wasn't food that was consumed. That has changed a great deal, you know. There's still a little bit of food that is display only when you're thinking about chocolate masterpiece and sugar work and salt and vegetable carving and so on, which is mind-blowing. I had the opportunity to go to the Culinary Olympic in Stuttgart, Germany last year. Right. And even after so many years in the profession, the work and the things that I've seen was mind-blowing.
Really?
The workmanship that those young people are doing is just amazing. But to come back to the part that the food, a big part of the competition and what Team Canada do now is all the food that is actually prepared it's consumed, and so that is it's so you get not only you get a point for the way you work and the things that you do, but also what the food tastes like, the texture, the whole thing.
That's a huge shift.
So it is a big shift,
right?
And I think that it's also represent it's a more true representation of what we do every day, you know, cooking food,
of course.
Serving customer.
And I think the neat thing about that is that that's something that came up from the lower level, meaning that it was young people that brought that one to the table more so than the more seasoned competitors. They went, we're not interested in doing this. This is where we want to go. We want it to be consumed. We don't want it thrown out at the end of the show. And I know that that was, when that was heard, that was wonderful, because that was a huge shift. And I think for most of us, that really made a defining change in how we see competitions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason actually the three of us got together today was to talk about competitions. So I thought what's a perfect opportunity. But right now, why are cooking competitions so important for young chefs or getting into the industry or just looking at food in general?
Well, I think a big part of it has been, the evolution of Food Channel on TV, and all of I think it has brought with young people the desire to be competing and doing that more and more. Mm-hmm. So I think the interest, that has really increased on the interest. But I also think that for young people that are going in the industry and even at the high school level, to be making the effort to partake into doing competition will give them such an advantage in their career path. It's going to help them develop not only their dexterity skill, but it's going to give them discipline. They're going to give them way to organize themselves better, to be timely, making what they need to do, their sanitation skill, and so on. So it's really it's bringing them to a level that they don't necessarily get the opportunity to work at on a day-to-day basis at the workplace, but it gives them additional skill and knowledge. And also the fact that they'll be working with people that have the same passion and the same mind, give them to work with talented chefs to compete, and the opportunity to have some mentorship from seasoned chefs as well.
It also gives them confidence.
Yes.
Whenever you're in just kind of the public eye that way, it gives you confidence.
Yes.
and knowing, and it's a big undertaking. Back to the team. I mean, the amount of hours that are put in by team members, and that includes Ronald on the management level. Mm-hmm. Every time that they have a competition within them, like a practice competition, everybody's there. There's a huge expense to that. Some of the there is sponsorship for some of the food and that sort of thing, but still it's a fairly large undertaking just to get the practices off the ground. That's not including getting them to Europe or to wherever they need to go to actually compete. So these fundraisers are hugely important, and it's important for our community, and by that I mean the culinary community, and that includes everybody who eats, to support them as much as possible.
Yes, I 100% agree with you that. And I think that's maybe now the time we can move on to a little bit about what these events are going to be and what's going to be happening at each event, because you have two events for them. And if you want to support the culinary, this is the way to come out and do this and get a ticket and be able to experience, because not only is they're using this as a bit of a fundraiser, it's also experience for them, right? A chance to actually learn. It is
an experience for the team to practice and work together and produce food. So yes, the two events are very different. The one that we're doing at 40 Nuts is going to be quite interesting and fun, because they're going to be coming to a beautiful cocktail reception with past hors d'oeuvre and so on to start the evening, and enjoy a nice glass of Spindrift sparkling wine from 40 Nuts Winery. And then the dinner will be a dinner demo where the chef, we're going to have a stage in the dining room. The chef will be able to explain to you what they're doing. You'll be able to see at the same time what it is that they're doing for each of the 9 course that's going to be served in a tapas style. So smaller portion, but many courses. So it's going to be, each course will be demo, will be explained to you, and you have chance. It's going to be a very dynamic, very interacting dinner, and should be a lot of fun, giving you the chance to talk to any of the team member and see what each one come up. Each of the course that is presented has been created by one of the chef, and each of the chef will be doing their own presentation.
And that's a huge thing, because from the perspective of this chef, sometimes, quite often, the hardest thing for them to do is to get out in front of the guest and actually talk about it. So having this piece incorporated into that is really important, because I remember going through this with junior chefs, but even senior chefs get really nervous in front. So actually having to walk through what they're doing, why, and presenting it, that's an added part of what they're doing for a competition. It's teaching them different skills than just putting food on the plate.
It's funny when you think about that, because never at any point in my life becoming a chef did I think that public speaking was going to be part of it. And I don't know how many times I've been dragged out. I mean, I think I went into this career for the fact that I could hide in the back, and I wasn't part of it. And now I seem to be front and center all the time and talking in front of everyone. So
Yes.
yeah, so it's super exciting, and I think this 40 knots is going to be an amazing, like, to be able to see the food being presented. So the team's not going to be hidden in the back.
No, you'll be seeing all the team member into the dining room at some point over the evening. I'm not going to go over the menu, because the menu is actually posted on the Eventbrite pages, so that you can view for yourself, and we'll give you the link.
Of course,
Yes,
I will let that in for everyone for that. Now let's talk about the other event, because Campbell River is totally different.
Campbell River will be different. Campbell River will be on a smaller scale, so we're expecting about 50 guests, and we'll be eating dinner into their beautiful dining room there at the Natural Pacific Resort. There's accommodation available for those that if you're from the Comox Valley and want to do an overnight up there. It's a beautiful resort. New, it's only open a year and a half or so. They were open armed to receive the team, and are working really hard to with us to make this possible. So I would like to thank them for that. So it's going to be more of a sit-down 5-course dinner. With also there's going to be a cocktail reception. We're going to have some action station for the first hour there, that you'll have an opportunity to meet again the team member and to doing their the cocktail reception. And then you'll be invited to go to the dining room to enjoy the evening. That meal will incorporate the dishes that the competitor have started to work on to prepare for the Luxembourg competition next year.
I'm excited for this, and I always feel treated, and this is maybe a luck of the three of us have all got to enjoy this, but when Team Canada sets up action stations, especially at the national convention that we go to every year, it's so amazing to see the food they're producing and how flavorful.
And that's why I'm also excited to have the team back to the North Island, is that we in our region don't have too many opportunity to eat that caliber of fine dining.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something that should always be kept in mind for these events. Even though their focus is fundraising, it also is definitely a step way above what we normally see here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get on to just a little bit about these two events. We're talking about November 1st at 40 knots, which everyone hopefully knows where 40 knots is there. Tickets are available on Eventbrite right now. Of course, if you want to find out more information, there is the North Vancouver Island Culinary Association. We have it on our website under events, and there's also links there to tickets if you are interested in that way. What else can we tell? Same thing for our Campbell River event. We're all on Eventbrite, and that there's lots of opportunities to get tickets from there, even though I know we have some problems today because all the systems went down.
And I would make a kind of an offbeat suggestion. If you have someone who's in your world that is a young person that is maybe interested in cooking, think about sponsoring them or bringing them to something like this. It can often open their eyes to the possible and what's out there. So if you know someone in your world that, is maybe this could be the spot.
Someone had to have a phone.
Thanks, Ronald.
Sorry.
Is it bring them along?
Oh, of course.
As a thought, buy them a ticket. This could be something that could make a real difference in their lives.
Can I be honest? So November 3rd is actually my mom's birthday. So my plans is to bring my mother up for
Cool.
dinner. So hopefully she doesn't listen to this before.
That's okay. We won't
That's
know.
a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I think it'll be fun for her just to see the world that I live
You
in
live
now,
in, yeah.
and to meet some of the people
Yep.
that have changed my thoughts and how I look at food. So, yeah,
I think that's great.
amazing opportunity. So, any last things you want to say?
Yeah, so just to reinforce that November the 1st will be at 40 Knots here in the Comox Valley, and on November the 3rd in Campbell River at the National Pacific Resort.
And let's say someone misses this. Are there going to be other opportunities?
Natural.
And if people miss this event because of timing and stuff like that, is the team ever going to come back?
Oh, yeah, eventually they will, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because not only we're preparing for Luxembourg next November, but we also have to prepare for Stuttgart in 2028 in February for the Culinary Olympic.
That's right. And I think people don't realize how much time these chefs put in to preparing for this. And it's not like, let's all get together and go over there. It's repeating the dish over and over and over again.
Yes.
It's years worth of work.
Yes. Yeah.
So these little events just help them progress that much faster. Yeah.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to do your sport and looking forward to see you at the event.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Edible Valley Podcast.